I used to work in Silicon Valley for much of my career. I was at Google for 10 years, Meta for 5, and much of that was working with brands in helping them understand how to leverage technology as it changed. We went from, selling physically to e-commerce to mobile, and now the creator economy, and now Web3. And so one of the themes that I'm seeing is many brands are trying to think through not just what NFTs mean for them, but what is a generation of people who really think of themselves not as consumers, but creators and owners mean for some of these brands, and how can they co-create with communities like World of Women to have people put their stamp on some of the brands that they love and feel that the brands that they've admired care about the same community issues that we all hold dear.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Wolfson, the host and founder of Web3 Deep Dive Podcast. Web3 Deep Dive Podcast focuses on real-world Web3 use cases to help you better understand how Web3 is being applied today and how it may be leveraged in the future. If this sounds interesting, I encourage you to subscribe, like, and share the content that you're seeing today to help spread the word about Web3. I also want to take this time to thank the sponsors behind Web3 Deep Dive Podcast. Wursta is producing Web3 Deep Dive Podcast and is a global technology consultancy agency with headquarters in Austin, Texas, and Quito, Ecuador. Wursta works with enterprises to help them make better technology decisions for their businesses. I also want to take the time to thank Banksa. Banksa is a leading crypto infrastructure payments provider. Be sure to check out Banksa for your Web3 project today. I'd also like to thank Animoca Brands for sponsoring today's episode. As a worldwide industry leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, and digital property rights, Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of Web3 in the open metaverse. With a portfolio of over 450 investments in products like the Sandbox, Phantom Galaxies, Life Beyond, and Mochaverse, Animoca Brands will keep building a better and fairer Web3 ecosystem, bringing true digital property rights to all internet users. Hey, Shannon, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. And hello, Deanna.
Hello, hey, Shannon.
Hi.
Shannon, we are so excited to be here with you at Veecon 2023. What are your thoughts on the event so far?
It's fantastic. The energy, the people. I heard from people who came from all over the world, flew 24 hours to come to the US for the first time just for this event. So the energy is electric.
Wow. Yeah, it's incredible. The energy here is amazing. And we're going to talk all about World of Women today because you are the COO, Chief Operating Officer of World of Women. And you guys have a big presence here at Veecon.
Yeah, we're really honored. Gary Vee has been an early supporter of World of Women. One of the reasons that we got spotlighted and why people were able to see WOW's message, which is representing equality, representation in Web3 and beyond.
Yeah, well, I love that. Maybe first start off by telling us a little bit more about World of Women. When was it started? How did it get started? Dig a little bit deeper into the message behind the platform.
Absolutely. So World of Women launched in July of 2021, so we're not yet 2 years old. And back when it launched, profile picture collections were becoming very popular. Think Bored Apes, having amazing impact in community. But our founding artist, Yam Karkai, realized that there were no collection that featured women avatars. And we saw all this promise in Web3 of new empowerment for creators, new opportunities for ownership of IP. But yet again, women were not included in this next generation of technology. So she didn't want to see Web3 repeat some of the same mistakes that we had seen in previous generations of tech. So she decided to launch a collection that was women founded, women artists, and featured beautiful, diverse women from all over the world. Since then, the collection has become a complete hit. We have over 14,000 holders of World of Women all over the world. We have 60% women and non-binary and 40% men, many of whom buy to make a better world for their daughters and wives and families. So we're continuing to grow our community to spread this message as well as grow our business.
Wow, I love that. And Deanna, I know you're a World of Women holder.
Oh, yeah, I sure am. I was early into the platform, which I'm so excited to be a member of the community. It's been so successful. What advice would you give to other projects to maintain a healthy community?
focus on your community. I mean, I think that one of the things that brings me the most joy is seeing how many inspirational women like you are in the community. We interviewed tons of WOW holders, and we found that the number one reason that people join is they want to be in this network of people who believe in equality in the next generation of technology, but also just incredible, inspiring women like you, like Kathy Hackle, like Avery Canetti, head of
Soon
VaynerX.
myself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna get one. You guys are encouraging me.
Absolutely.
I don't hold many NFTs, but this is a special community.
Well, it would be an absolute honor. Many people found out about not just NFTs, but Web3 when they saw that Reese Witherspoon purchased a World of Women, Ava Longoria purchased a WOW, and then actually created products with a derivative of her WOW and sold them to raise money for charity. And so it's really just a community that supports each other. And we would love to have more women like you involved.
Let's talk a little bit about the artwork and also the utility behind the NFTs. So are these just artwork NFTs, or is there utility attached to them?
There's both. So the artwork is beautiful. One of the things that we're really proud is there is historic quality because it holds this place in history as the first women PFP. We really believe that the WOW art will live in history, and Yam's art has actually been featured in the permanent collection of LACMA. So certainly there's an art angle, but there are key utilities to being in the community. One is the IP that you own. When you purchase a WOW, you own the rights to that image, and you can use it to be part of your business. You can launch a product using that WOW. A Galaxy Digital study found that WOW IP license was the most permissive of any in the market. So when you buy that WOW, you can use it however you want, whether you want to have shirts, whether you want to launch a product, whether you want to use it as the digital face of your business, you have permission and you get to use this brand that is known globally. And then on a community standpoint, you can also think about your WOW as a ticket to a family all over the world. We've hosted events including the WOW Gala in Miami at Art Basel, a purple carpet event with over 1,000 people. We had Sophie Tucker perform, everyone in galactic glamour outfits and having the time of their lives. We had a Madonna concert at NFT NYC. And so you really can think about it as having that utility, not just an image that you can build a business on, but a community of people that you can rely on all over the world.
That's amazing. Now, I know there are probably different tiers and different prices associated with these NFTs. Mm-hmm. So for the events, for instance, does that relate to all of the NFTs for all NFT holders, or do you have to be a certain tier to get access to certain things? Yeah,
so we have two collections, WOW, which is the original collection of 10,000 women, and then we have WOW G, WOW Galaxy, which is 22,222,000 women, and it's a beautiful collection. And WOW is a little bit more historic and it is a higher price point, but WOW G, because there's more NFTs, it's a more accessible price point and allowed us to bring a lot of new community members in. And you get access to the events with both, but sometimes you might be able to bring a +1 if you're a WOW holder versus a WOW G holder. Or we have a community voting platform called our DeWow, where we vote on different issues in the business. For example, we voted on which WOW would be auctioned at Christie's and let the community decide. And WOW holders get some more votes in that system, but everyone gets a voice.
Wow, I love that. Deanna, question for you. What attracted you to the WOW community so early on?
The fact that it was empowering women was the main thing for me. I also aped in the Bored Apes, of course, and World of Women I knew was going to be the next one to really take off. Can you tell us more about what World of Women is doing to empower women and non-binary to onboard to Web3?
So we have a WOW Foundation, which is a key focus for us. We want to make sure that we're using our voice to elevate others. The key program that we're working on is Let's Mint. It's an opportunity for women and girls to learn about Web3 and the Metaverse and learn how to stay secure, as well as mint their first NFT. So we're running those sessions both physically and digitally, and our goal is to empower 50,000 new women and girls in Web3 and the Metaverse by the end of the year. We've also undertaken some partnerships. We did WOW and WOW G NFT ledgers, which allowed us to do a security course as well as a quiz. And once you took that quiz, you became eligible to win a ledger, which is beautifully branded as a WOW, and you can hold your crypto and NFTs there securely. So we really want to make sure that people are becoming knowledgeable as they step into the space and stay safe. The other piece that's really important for WOW is using our platform to elevate other artists and creatives. WOW has empowered over 350 artists in our community since inception, and that's either by running art contests where we give artists new visibility, buying their art so they can see it in the wallet and see that WOW is interested, doing it as an art drop, or having them participate in a festival that we do quarterly called Art Fest, where we spotlight diverse artists from all over the world and allow our holders to mint that art for free plus gas.
Wow, that's amazing. Are you seeing an influx of new women and just users in general come in as the NFT space grows?
I sure am. I think that different people are finding out about it from different sources. So events like this really help because we're co-mingling communities. And so people might have one point of interest. Maybe they just know Gary. They find out about it. They start to learn about different communities. And we're also just seeing new interests through partnerships that we do. One of the key strategies that we have is partnering with key brands to make sure that we're exposing people to the NFT space through the beautiful art and the message, and then allowing them to learn about a little bit about Web3. So for example, we just launched a bespoke clothing line with Nicole Richie's House of Harlow label, and it was the first time that WOW products were available on the open market, but it was up on the House of Harlow website and allows people to see, hey, I love this image. Let me get curious about it. I love this jewelry. How can I actually learn more and potentially get introduced to WOW that way?
That's really interesting. I saw that press release in my inbox and I definitely was interested in it. So is it basically like the artwork is being placed on clothes or jewelry and then people that buy that can learn more about the NFT and potentially purchase that NFT? How does it work?
Really, this was a licensing collab and a co-collaboration between our founding artist, Yam Karkai, as well as Nicole Richie. So they did do some co-designs and collab with the NFTs. But the goal was really to get the art out there so that people can learn about both communities, because obviously as both female founders of all about women empowerment, we wanted to make sure to expose both audiences to each other.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is really great. What advice would you give to other brands that are interested in doing collabs with World of Women?
Oh, well, one, please contact me. We love collabing and we want to make sure that we're having a positive entry for brands into Web3. I used to work in Silicon Valley for much of my career. I was at Google for 10 years, Meta for 5, and much of that was working with brands in helping them understand how to leverage technology as it changed. We went from, selling physically to e-commerce to mobile and now the creator economy and now Web3. And so one of the themes that I'm seeing is many brands are trying to think through not just what NFTs mean for them, but what does a generation of people who really think of themselves not as consumers, but creators and owners mean for some of these brands? And how can they co-create with communities like World of Women to have people put their stamp on some of the brands that they love and feel that the brands that they've admired care about the same community issues that we all hold dear?
That's such a great point. What do you think the impact is for the brand to be able to partner with someone like World of Women?
Well, I think that they are often able to express their values. We get so much inbound. I mean, at one point we were getting 200 brands a week outreaching for partnership. And most of it was, we believe in the message. We believe in women's empowerment. We see what you guys are doing for women and girls in tech. We've made huge commitments to increase the diversity of not just our internal teams, but how we show up in the market. And we want to help. We want to educate, and we want to do a collab that isn't, just slapping a WOW on a product, which would look beautiful, of course, but when there's a meaning behind it and there's a shared commitment to what we're doing together to impact the world, it's that much more powerful, both for the brand and for us.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, has it been challenging to work with brands at all, especially brands that might be hesitant about getting into the Web3 space? I mean, they may be concerned with being associated with NFTs, and if it has been challenging, how have you guys combated those challenges?
It's a really great question because the market has turned and fluctuated so much, and crypto has lost so much trust with the FTX and some of the behavior that has gone on. And so when we look at a lot of top brands, they want to be involved in this economy, but they also don't want to negatively associate with a trend. And so for us, I think that it's really been a lot of education in terms of the long-term value and the consumer behavior, as well as just thinking through how we can collaborate so that we can really capitalize on trends. So one thing that I see is it can sometimes take a long time for partnerships to come to market. But in that time, trends have really shifted. And so sometimes you might miss a moment. So I think for any brand that is thinking through collaboration, I think it's good to think through the long-term utility, the values they stand for, partner with communities that have your same values, and then execute it in a way where you're listening to each other and letting the brand speak to the areas that they know about. Often that's production, that's long-term brand building, but then partnering with the community about it's like, how do you keep pace with the speed of market? How do you keep innovating? How do you lean into women's empowerment? And if you give on both sides, it will be a great collaboration.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, are you seeing WoW holders? Are they holding those NFTs, or are they selling them, or do you have statistics on that?
Yeah, so they are holding. We have a long... in the market, there certainly are a lot of people who see the opportunity. Maybe they like to flip, they like to trade. That's kind of the fun. But what I see for World of Women is often, even if we have traders in the community, often they'll buy the NFT for their daughter. I spoke to someone yesterday who bought an NFT for his niece, a WoW NFT, and he said, "Hold this. When you turn 16, you can sell it and purchase a car." She actually chose to not sell the NFT when she turned 16. She worked a separate job so that she could hold her WoW and still buy the car. And when we look at the data, I think only less than 2% of WoWs are listed for sale because people really are holding it as their ticket to the community.
That's amazing. I think that's what NFTs are all about, utility versus just flipping it to get rich fast.
Mm-hmm. That's so inspirational. What do you think the legacy of World of Women will be?
I hope that when we look 10, 50, 100 years out, we look back at WoW and they were at this juncture of the start of Web3. And I hope that it's a butterfly effect. We capture this moment of women belong here, and hopefully it turned history so that girls growing up, our daughters, our granddaughters, they have an equal voice in business, in technology, because that we saw the Web3 fulfill the promise of equality and opportunity that we all want it to be.
I want to shift gears a little bit because I'm curious about your background. I'm always curious to know how people got involved in Web3, especially the guests on this show. So you said you were at Google.
I was at Google for 10 years and then Meta for almost 5.
Right. And then how did you enter the Web3 space and get involved with WoW?
Absolutely. So I was a holder of WoW. So I was already a super fan and part of the community. And when I looked at my career, I came to Silicon Valley about 2004. So I kind of caught the end of Web 1, right? And consumer internet and having internet totally involved in our lives, and then was at Google, then came to Meta squarely in Web 2, rise of mobile. We're all interacting with our phones. And at the end of my time, I was at Facebook when it transitioned to Meta. And so there was this version of the next gen of tech that was all about the metaverse, AR, VR being this next phase, this more immersive internet, which surely pieces of that are coming to form. Google had been working on AI for 10 years. They were saying they were an AI first company, and there's a certain version of the next view of technology on that. But what really made me excited was Web3 and the fact that there could be this next version of technology that was all about empowering people, empowering creators, and ownership. And I thought that WoW was a key piece of that. And I thought, if I'm going to step into the next gen of technology, as I've stepped into those before, I wanted to step in on the side of creator and human empowerment and the side of using technology for good.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, thanks for sharing your story. What do we have to look forward to in the future of World of Women?
Well, if you stop by our Veecon booth, you can see a preview of a partnership that we're really excited about. We are launching a WoW Monopoly board with Hasbro. And why it's so meaningful for WoW is I, for sure, maybe you, all of us learned about money through Monopoly and playing Monopoly as a kid. And for us to have WoW Monopoly and learn about digital currency and play in the WoW universe, it makes me feel that we'll have this impact on helping women, girls, kids learn about the next generation of money through WoW Monopoly and creating that better future.
Yeah, I saw that. I cannot wait to get my hands on one of those because I loved playing Monopoly as a child. And like, that's a beautiful Monopoly set. I saw it.
Well, I hope that we can play in person live when you visit me in Miami.
Oh, 100%.
I look forward to this.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask just real quick, because we haven't touched on this yet. For the artists behind WoW, how does Web3 empower them and their artwork?
So Yam Karkai, who is our founding artist, she has a really incredible story. She was not making a full-time living from her art prior to WoW. She was drawing one-of-ones. You can see her original collection, Women by Yam. She always drew women. And so it was a natural extension from drawing one-on-one women to creating this incredible 10,000 collection. But what is so fascinating is, through the power of Web3 and NFTs, she went from not making a living on her art to after a Christie's auction where one of her pieces were sold from over 500,000 pounds, she became the top selling woman NFT artist in the world. And that is reason why we're so committed to empowering other artists, because it was such a trajectory changer for Yam. And we want to continue to use our platform to do that for other people that, deserve the same opportunity.
That's amazing. We're going to wrap things up here. Any final thoughts, Shannon, that you want to leave our listeners with?
Just thank you for being out there. I see you guys giving voice to other people, doing amazing things in the business world and in the media world. So thanks for inspiring me. I'm honored to have you both in the community soon and currently. And thanks so much for giving WoW the opportunity to tell our story.
Thanks, Shannon. Also, real quick, if our listeners want to get in touch with you or WoW, how do they do that?
Please visit us, worldofwomen.art. Follow us on Instagram, World of Women, and you can follow me, Shannon Snow _ on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Deanna.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks.